The Amish Church started as a breakaway from the Anabaptists in Switzerland in 1693. My parents split the day after my 9th birthday. 2 years later, in summer of 2007, my breakaway began. Helped by the influence of some new friends, I began to turn wild. The Amish are very distinctive, due to their lifestyle, simplicity of dress, and rejection of modern technology. I always had a different interest compared to my peers, which resulted in me seeking the company of older companions. I stayed in when everyone was out, and went out when everyone was in. The Amish are born into a strict and rule-oriented community. Growing up, our household and surroundings were similar. He ruled. There are 12 years between my sister and I, so we have a lot of differences. Unfortunately, she had a lot longer in hell than I had, being the older sibling. She was imprisoned for months on end. Release was quickly followed by the inevitable return to confinement. Ordnung is a set of rules each Amish community follows. Containing both religious and civil rules, the Ordnung is strictly an Amish interpretation of the Bible. It is created to keep the members of the community in line with Amish law. These communities are not centrally governed, so each group creates their own versions of the rules. They believe in living a life separated to the non-Amish. They quote the Bible to justify their beliefs. Be not unequally yoked with unbelievers, for what do righteousness and wickedness have in common, or what fellowship can lie have in darkness? Our lives are controlled by him, overboard ridiculous rules and punishments which made for so much anger and so much stress. Being so controlled led us to break away in extreme fads or trends, with crazy hairstyles and dress. We used unnecessary slang and curse words as coping mechanisms while trying to find peace within ourselves. We also had our differences, both from society and one another. I lived a wilder childhood, where my sister lived a more independent one. She couldn't take any more of the hell come the age of 16, and ran away to work on the ships. She was forced to grow up quite fast because of this. She also stepped in and played the second role of a parental figure in my life to good effect. But she still also had her wild side. Rumspringa is the Amish get-out-of-jail-free card, the Amish term for adolescence. During this period, the youth are most likely to be rebellious against their community, and consequently are treated more leniently so as to not push them away. Rumspringa lasts as long as the Amish teen wishes, but could be estimated from ages 16 to 22. At the end of Rumspringa, the youth are expected to choose whether to stay with their community or be shunned. Most who undergo this process decide to stay with their community. Those who decide to break away are shunned, expelled from their community, and banned from all association with members of their group, including immediate family and friends. My Rumspringa started around the summer of 2009 and lasted for about 5 years total, from first year of secondary school to 6. I went through a full-on rebellious phase. I did it all, misbehaving, violence, alcohol and drugs. But in towns like I live in, what teenager doesn't go through this? They may not all be as extreme as mine, but everyone has their moments of curiosity and experimentation. But the main point was, I shouldn't be ashamed of my past anymore. I got it all out of my system at the right time. I learned young and matured quickly. I developed a lot of street skills before I was in any way book smart. This alone has helped me get through life so far. I used to be ashamed of who I was, always trying to prove myself, fit in or feel accepted. But not until the day I finally let go of this past and began to create my own waves did I realise that yet again I had it all wrong, and my life was only beginning. I certainly seemed to stand out, something a lot of people strive to achieve all their lives. I earned my level of uniqueness and individuality. I didn't have to strive. Unknowingly, I had it bred into me all along. My mother's beliefs and discipline were quite similar to the ways of the Amish. Yes, she tried the whole grounding thing, but realised how much more it entitled me to rebel. What seemed to work best was making me feel more understood and listened to, so she used a particular tactic, which worked her way. She would treat me to town in some clothes after we had sorted our differences. This made me feel quite mature and understood, so she gained my respect back for her rules. Her intention was to show how one who behaved was treated in return. These tactics were used to avoid pushing me away throughout my own Rumspringa and they certainly worked. One day, it just clicked. Like the Amish, I decided to return to my own community. I returned to the real me. It was not clear what exactly made it click. All I remember is the fright that took over me when the realisation of how close the exam and end of school were. My personality was back in place. I worried about my responsibilities again, worried about succeeding. I became extremely organised and dedicated and panic studied right up to the Leaving Certificate exams. I managed to scrape a pass and applied for a post-Leaving Certificate course in Moat Business College. Truly the stepping stone to my future. I spread my wings and learned to fly, proving my talent, ability, and the fact that second chances do exist.